Philosophy of Hinduism by Baba Ambedkar. Question 1, Part 13. The inequality embodied in these rules is real, although it may not be quite obvious. Observe that all these sacraments and ashrams are confined to the twice born. The Shudras are excluded from their benefit. Manu, of course, has no objection to their undergoing the forms of the ceremonies, but he objects to their use of the sacred mantras in the performance of the ceremonies. On this, Manu says, 10.127. Even Shudras who were anxious to perform their entire duty and knowing what they should perform, imitate the practice of good men in the household sacraments, but without any holy text except those containing praise and salutation, are so far from sinning that they acquire just applause. See the following text of Manu for women, 266. The same ceremonies, except that of the sacrificial thread, must be duly performed for women at the same age and in the same order, that the body may not be made perfect, but without any text from the Veda. Why does Manu prohibit the Shudras from the benefit of the sacraments? His interdict against the Shudras becoming a sannyasi is a puzzle. Sannyas means and involves renunciation, abandonment of worldly objects. In legal language, sannyas is interpreted as being equivalent to civil death, so that when a man becomes a sannyasi, he is treated as being dead from that moment, and his heir succeeds immediately. This would be the only consequence which would follow if a Shudra becomes a sannyasi. Such a consequence could hurt nobody except the Shudra himself. Why then this interdict? The issue is important, and I will quote Manu to explain the significance and the importance of the sacraments and sannyas. Let us ponder over the following relevant texts of Manu. 2.26. With holy rites prescribed by the Veda, must the ceremony on conception and other sacraments be performed for twice born men, which sanctify the body and purify from sin in this life and after death. 2.28. By the study of the Vedas, by vows, by burnt oblations, by the recitation of the sacred texts, by the acquisition of the three sacred Vedas, or by the great sacrifices, by the srota, by the offering to the gods and rishis and manes, by procreation of sons, and by rites, this human body is made fit for union with Brahma. This is the aim and object of the samskaras. Manu also explains the aim and object of the sannyas. 681. He, the sannyasi, who has in this manner gradually given up all attachments and is freed from all those pairs of opposites, reposes in Brahman alone. 685. A twice born man who becomes an ascetic after the successive performance of the above mentioned acts shakes off sin here below and reaches the highest Brahman. From these texts, it is clear that according to Manu himself, the object of these sacraments is to sanctify the body and purify it from sin in this life and hereafter, and to make it fit for union with God. According to Manu, the object of sannyas is to reach and repose in God. Yet, Manu says that the sacraments and sannyas are the privileges of the higher classes. They are not open to the Shudra. Why? Does he not know that the Shudra needs sanctification of the body, purification of his soul? Does not the Shudra need to have an aspiration to reach God? Manu probably would have answered these questions in the affirmative. Why did he then make such rules? The answer is that he was a staunch believer in social inequality, and he knew the danger of admitting religious equality. If I am equal before God, why am I not equal on earth? Manu was probably terrified by this question. Rather than admit and allow religious equality to affect social inequality, he preferred to deny religious equality. Thus, in Hinduism, you will find both social inequality and religious inequality embedded into its philosophy. To prevent man from purifying himself from sin, to prevent man from getting near to God, to any rational person, such rules must appear to be abominable and an indication of a perverse mind. It is a glaring instance of how Hinduism is a denial not only of equality, but how it is a denial of the sacred character of human personality. The end.